Okay, so how do I make this neck opening larger? Again, the excess webbing is kept, this is for the Duo Direct. This is the bottom of the harness. You've got the buckle here, and the excess webbing is kept in this pocket right behind the buckle. So if I pull that out, you can see here all this excess webbing that I've got stored down there. So now, obviously I know where the buckle is, I know where the pocket is right here. Now if I want to make the opening of the harness, this opening, the neck opening, larger, I want this big webbing tail to get shorter. So again, you've noticed that you've got this folded end. I want this whole thing just to get shorter. So how am I going to do that? Got my buckle here. I'm going to push this piece of webbing through the buckle there. So I'm making this big loop like this, you can see. Now I want to take this slack up through this middle loop here. So I'm going to pull this middle loop here. You can see that middle loop forming right there. I'm just going to pull that all the way through like that. So now I've got this slack here, and what I want to do is I want to reach on the underside here. So I'm on the underside of the buckle. I'm not pulling this piece, but I'm pulling on the underside, and I'm taking up all that slack. So it's kind of like a shoelace system. Once you get the hang of it, it'll all make sense. So now I've got all this webbing. You can see it's a little bit messy. So how do I solve that problem? You know, it's messy. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to screw it up. So all you got to do is just pull like this. Just pull on the harness like that. Kind of make sure that these are laying flat, that you're not inducing a bunch of twists into it. So I've got that. So you can see here there's some twisting going on, so I'm going to straighten that out and make sure it's flowing the right way. There you go. It's all flat. I've pulled the harness like this. Now I'm going to pull on the ring. So I pull the ring, and now the harness has constricted up. Now what I can do is just slowly open it again and kind of even out both sides. So this end and this end are equal length. So you can see how much larger the neck opening has become. Now again, I've got this much shorter bit of harness or of webbing to store. I can just fold that up. And I stuff it into the pocket right here behind the buckle. So here's the buckle, there's the pocket right there. Stuff it in. Let's say you're having a problem, maybe your fingers might not be able to get in there, or you're just struggling with it, or especially on the smaller sizes. I grab something like this. This is just an Allen wrench. You can grab anything, a pen, a screwdriver, anything, and I can just shove it in there. And now you can see here how clean and stored that webbing is in the pocket right here. Now the pocket runs all the way across the body, so if you get a lot of webbing, you can store it all the way in there. Okay, so that's how you adjust the neck. So one thing we want to warn you guys is this sewed end here should not be cut. If you cut this end and it slides unbeknownst to you all the way through and comes out, the entire system will come apart and your dog essentially will get free. Now we've got some deterrents against that. You can see here, this buckle here has teeth on it. So I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can show you there. But you can see those teeth in there. Now that's gonna really grab this webbing. We've never had the webbing slide through and a dog get loose. We need to have 2 layers of defense. So we got teeth on the buckle and this sewed end. So if you have a ton of excess webbing, you're like, I can't stuff it in the pocket, it's too much webbing. You might need to go down to a size smaller, or what you can do is, if you do cut this end, you have to sew it back down into a fold. You can just get out your home sewing machine and sew an end in there. That will keep the end of the webbing from backing out of that piece right there. Okay, so with that, and that's for both harnesses. That's for both the Duo Direct, which is this one, and the Duo Adapt. Okay, so how do we adjust the back end here? We have pockets on the bottom here, and this is where we store excess webbing. So you can see if I pull this out, you can see, oh, there's the webbing end, and that's got a fold in it also. So right on the bottom here, you've got pockets running all the way across that you can store excess webbing. So if you want to make this tighter, all you do is you pull on the outer piece of the webbing here, and then just push the slack through. this intermediate piece and then pull the end. So how would I do that? Let's see, there's the buckle. So here's the buckle here. I'll turn it over. I want to make this shorter. I'm going to pull on this end here. I'm going to run it through this tri-glide, and then I'm going to pull it rest. So now you can see it's really, really small. So if I want to make it longer, I'm going to push it the opposite direction. I'm going to lengthen that out. I'm going to pull that through the tri-glide, and then I'm going to pull this out. And now you can obviously see this is much shorter. Now I can move this tri-glide up, and what I can do with this excess webbing here is I can just stuff it into this pocket back here. There. Now this end you can cut because we have friction here and here with this tri-glide. So if you like, get a very sharp pair of scissors and you can trim this down nice and short wherever you want. Maybe you can leave it to here so you can tuck a little bit in the end. You can trim it down. And then what you want to do is you want to get a lighter. Cut this off and then burn the end with a lighter. So just get your lighter here and you just burn a bit of an end like this to melt the end. Make sure the end is nice and melted and you're good to go. So that's how you adjust the chest area, and that's how you adjust the neck area. And again, this is the Duo Direct, and we'll also have a video about how to adjust the neck and chest area of the Duo Adapt as well.